On a night when the northern lights painted the sky with green flames and the mountains whispered with the voices of ancient giants, a story unfolded that Icelanders told by firelight for centuries. It is the tale of Ásmund and Signy, of trust, betrayal, and a love that endured against all odds. Long ago, there was a king whose daughter, Signy, was fair and wise. She had hair like sunlight over frost and eyes as steady as deep waters. Among her father's warriors was a brave young man named Ásmund. He was not the strongest, nor the most boastful, but his heart was loyal, his spirit steady, and Signy trusted him more than anyone. One winter, her father's kingdom grew restless with threats from rival lords. Seeking alliances, the king promised Signy's hand in marriage to a man from another realm. This suitor was rich and powerful, but proud, cruel, and filled with greed. Signy's heart sank at the news, for she had long loved Ásmund in silence, and she feared this new husband would bring sorrow. On the day the suitor came to claim her, the air was heavy with snow, and the fjords were frozen white. Ásmund rode beside the princess's carriage as guard, his eyes watchful. They traveled through dark forests, where the trees bent with frost and the wind howled like wolves, but the suitor, impatient and haughty, demanded they hurry faster. As night fell, the company came to a lonely inn. The suitor, sly with drink, whispered orders to his men. There, in the shadows, he betrayed his promise. With a cruel smile, he plotted to cast Ásmund aside so no one would stand in his way. But fate has a way of unraveling deceit. Signy overheard the suitor's words, her heart burning with dread. She fled to Ásmund and told him all. "They mean to kill you," she whispered, her voice trembling. Ásmund's eyes hardened, though his voice was calm. "Then we must be cleverer than they are. Stay close to me, princess." That night, as the suitor's men struck, Ásmund fought like a lion. His sword gleamed silver in the torchlight, ringing against steel, while Signy prayed in silence. Blow after blow he met, his courage unbroken. Yet the enemy were many, and even the bravest heart can falter against treachery. But here the tale turned. Among the shadows, a wanderer had been listening, an old shepherd who had seen more winters than most could count. He stepped forward with his staff, and though no one noticed at first, his presence shifted the air. For this was no ordinary shepherd. Some say he was a spirit of the land, others that he was a man who knew the old magic. He raised his staff, and the fire in the hearth flared. The suitor's men faltered, their courage crumbling, and in that moment Ásmund struck true. The traitors fled into the night, their ambition scattered like ashes on the wind. When the battle was done, Signy's hands shook as she touched Ásmund's shoulder. "You saved me," she whispered, her eyes shining. He looked at her softly. "I only did what my heart could not deny." By dawn, word of the treachery had spread. The suitor, shamed and defeated, was cast out, his name forever cursed. The king, who had seen his daughter's sorrow and Ásmund's courage, knew at last what was true. "A man may have riches," he declared before his court, "but it is loyalty that proves worth, and a heart that guards love is greater than any crown." And so Signy was freed from the false suitor, and she stood at Ásmund's side. Their love, once hidden, was revealed, and the people rejoiced. Together they ruled with fairness and strength, their names remembered not for power, but for devotion and bravery. And so the tale of Ásmund and Signy reminds us that betrayal may darken the path, but loyalty and courage will always light the way. Love born of trust cannot be broken, not by deceit, nor by greed, nor by the coldest of winters. And that, dear friends, is the story of Ásmund and Signy. If you enjoyed this magical journey, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more enchanting folktales. And remember to press the bell icon so you never miss a story. Tell me, if you were in Signy's place, would you choose a life of riches without love, or a life of loyalty and courage with someone you trust?